guys, thanks for tuning in. It's a gorgeous Friday here. The birds are chirping, the sun is shining, so it's a great backdrop for a nice vinyasa flow practice. Working into our body today, trying to get the heart rate up, doing a couple of strengthening moves and maybe some flexibility as well. So what I do want to say is no matter what we do in yoga, the point is to feel good in your body. It's not to push yourself to a level of exhaustion, a level of injury. So if you feel like something's not right for you, then please immediately back away from that. Go into a child's pose or maybe modify the position. So what I want us to do first, come into an easy seated pose, palms face up, close the eyes, take a few breaths in and out of the nose here, not forcing anything. Just notice where your breath is today. Maybe take a moment to set an intention for your class. Maybe even an intention for your weekend. Let's take the right hand to the chest, left hand to the belly. Start to feel your breath as it moves in and out of the body. And then slowly release the palms back to the thighs. From here, we're just going to let our right ear slowly drop towards our right shoulder. Still breathing. Just getting a stretch along the left side of the neck. Inhale through center. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Moving back through center. This time on an exhalation, the chin draws up as the head drops back, only going to your level of comfort. Slowly moving back through center and then exhale, dropping the chin towards the chest. Slowly coming back to a neutral spine. From here, we're just going to unroll into a tabletop position on the hands and the knees. Wrist underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hip pointers. Let's flow through a couple cat and cows. Inhale, lift the chin and drop the belly. Exhale, chin towards the chest, pressing the mat away. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more times. We just want to get the spine in motion. Maybe a little stiff if it's early in the morning or if you haven't been moving around a lot. Then we're going to bring it to a neutral spine. Slowly drop the hips back towards the heels, reaching out with the fingers. Nice child's pose. Maybe rock the head from right to left. Inhale as you rise back to tabletop. From tabletop, we're going to draw the knees back about 1.5 inches, tucking the toes, pressing the hips up and back to your first downward facing dog. So once you're here, you're using equal weight in the feet and the hands to hold the body up. You may want to pedal out the feet, working into the hamstrings and the calf muscle. Take your time here.
Allow the head to hang heavy, maybe even shaking it from side to side. Slowly coming to a place of stillness. From here, we're going to unroll through the spine to plank position. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale as you draw back. Inhale. Remember, the knees can come down. Exhale. One last time. Inhale forward. And exhale, bringing it back. Taking in a deep breath, maybe an exaggerated exhalation. We're going to look between the hands and walk to the top of the mat, coming to a flat spine. Fingertips can be on the mat, maybe the shins. Exhale as you bow forward. Now, since we're just beginning, you may want to bend into the knees, sway from right to left. With the knees still bent, we're going to unroll to stand, one vertebrae at a time. Slowly lifting the head.
Allowing the arms to fall to the sides of the body. In the feet, the big toes can touch, or the feet can be 2 fist widths distance apart. Spread out the toes. Root all 4 corners of your feet into the mat. Starting to move through our sun salutations, we'll inhale the arms up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, bowing forward.
Inhale halfway. Exhale, taking it back to your high or low plank. And maybe you're including a chaturanga, slowly lowering.
Inhale, upward facing dog.
Exhale, downward facing dog. Here is your chance to reset. Maybe you're still pedaling into the feet. Maybe you would like a child's pose, coming to the knees, letting the hips sit back. 3 deep breaths here. On an inhalation, meeting back in tabletop, tucking the toes and making your way back to downward facing dog. We'll flow through that again. So this time, looking between the hands, you can walk, step, or float. I'll step this time. 1 big step, coming to a flat spine. Exhale, bowing forward. Inhale, reverse swan dive, hinging from the hips. Palms come to touch. Exhale, releasing the hands to heart center. Inhale, arms out wide. Exhale, bowing forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, taking it back through your vinyasa, plank, maybe a chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We went through that vinyasa a little quicker than we did the previous one. We want to get our heart rate up, breath moving. And remember, each time you go back to downward facing dog, it can also be a child's pose. One more deep breath here. Inhaling, looking between the hands, finding the spot that you would like to land, walking, stepping, or floating to the top of your mat. Coming to a flat spine. Exhale, bowing forward. Inhale, building it up. Exhale, hands to the sides of the body. Let's bring our hands together at heart center. Taking a quick prana check. Feel your breath, the energy in your body. Slowly releasing the hands to the sides of the body. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale halfway. Now from here we're going to plant the hands and step back with the left foot.
So we're coming into a lunge.
Slowly start to drop the left knee to the mat. Hands can stay down. Maybe the hands come to blocks. If you're ready and juicy enough this morning, the hands can come to the thigh, or you can inhale the arms up. We'll hang out here, 3 deep breaths. Exhale, plant the hands, tuck the left toes and lift the knee. From here, you're going to step back up to the top of your mat. Coming to a flat spine. Exhale, bowing forward. Inhale, lift halfway. This time we're going to step back with the right foot. Different side of the body, so take a moment, fill it out. Hanging out here. Coming down to the right knee. Using your hands as props. Maybe bringing the hands to the thigh or inhaling the arms up. On this side, I'm just going to leave my hands on my thigh. Getting a nice deep opener in my right hip flexor. On your exhalation, planting the hands, tucking the right toes and lifting the knee. This time we're going to draw the left foot back for a plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths. Remember, this is also your opportunity to come down to a child's pose. Inhale, meeting back in tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, drawing back. From here, we're moving into warrior 1. So we're going to inhale. Right foot comes directly between both hands. Dropping to all 4 corners of the back foot. Inhale the arms up. Right knee is bent, left leg is straight. Try not to cave in with the right knee. Keeping it in line with your hip and your toes. And remember your breathing here. One more deep breath. On an exhalation, we're going to slowly open up into warrior 2. Warrior 2, you may want to spread the feet out a little more to sink into the hip. Action is in both arms. Pressing through the fingertips.
So right now we're bent into the right knee. On an inhalation, we're going to straighten the right leg, pivot the toes so that now we're facing our left arm. Exhale, bending into the left knee. Warrior two on the opposite side. Back leg is active, pressing into the outer edges of the foot. From here, we're going to start to bring the right hand forward. Both arms move up for warrior one. You might start to feel a little heat in the quads. That's okay. If it starts to become too much, you can release the arms, bring them back up, or maybe back off the bend in the knee. From here, let's inhale, straighten the left leg. Pivot the toes back to the top of the mat. Exhale, opening up into warrior two. And then cartwheel the hands to the top of the mat. Stepping back to plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale. Moving back towards downward facing dog or child's pose. Let your heels drop back towards your mat. They don't have to be touching the mat per se. They're just going in that direction to get a stretch. If you start to feel that your hamstrings are getting tight, move to turbo dog, bending the knees, belly towards the quads. And slowly come back, downward facing dog. From here, we're going to inhale slowly to plank. Feel your core working. Exhale, dropping all the way down to the mat. Keeping your hands underneath your shoulders. On an inhalation, pressing up and lifting. Baby cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale and lift. Exhale, release. One more time, press up. Exhale, let the face drop to one side. Arms to the sides of the body. Shake out the waist. From here, we're going to bring our hands underneath our shoulders again. Tuck the toes. You can use your knees. Otherwise, really engage your core and slowly start to press up to plank. Back, downward facing dog. We'll inhale, right foot to the top of the mat for warrior two. Find a nice firm foundation here. Inhale as you straighten the right leg. Moving to triangle. Exhale, tipping forward. Right hand to the shin. Maybe you have a block or the hand comes to the floor. Rotating through the ribs. Left arm lifts or can be behind the back. Keep your breath moving. On an exhalation, we're going to bring the left hand down, bending into the right knee, and just stepping the left foot up about a foot so that both set of toes are facing the top of your mat. Both heels are touching the mat. Inhale to a flat spine. Exhale to pyramid pose.
2 more breaths here. Remember, the hands can come to props as far as blocks are concerned, and there can be a bend in the right knee. Please don't try to press and pull your hamstring on the right leg. Feel your body out. Go where it feels good. Inhale, coming up halfway. On an exhalation, bending back into the right knee, stepping back to plank. Chaturanga.
Inhale, upward facing dog.
Exhale, take it back.
Downward facing dog.
Inhale, left foot to the top of the mat.
Warrior 2, opposite side. Find your foundation. Inhale, straightening the left leg. Exhale, tipping the triangle. Hand to the shin. Maybe a block. Maybe the floor. Find your drishti. Your drishti is the place that you want to focus. Maybe it's a spot on the wall, a spot on the floor. Exhale, right hand comes down, bending into the left knee. Stepping up some with the right foot. Both set of toes facing the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway.
Exhale, bowing over the left leg. Keep in mind your hand can be on blocks or the left knee can be slightly bent. On an inhalation, we're going to lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, bend into the left knee. Back to plank. Maybe a chaturanga.
Inhale, upward facing dog.
Exhale, meeting back in downward facing dog. We'll come down to the knees. Hips draw back for a child's pose. Maybe bring the arms around the body as a garland. Start to take some full breaths. One more deep breath here. And then slowly start to lift.
Hands to the thighs. Slowly opening the eyes. Let's let the hips drop to one side as we bring the legs out in front of our body. Once you're here, either sitting on the edge of a blanket or taking the flesh, moving it back. Pressing through the soles of the feet, hands fall to the sides of the body. Lengthen through the spine. One more breath here. And start to relax the muscles. From here, we're going to bend into the knees, slowly coming onto our backs using our forearms. Take a moment. Notice how it feels to be back down on the ground, trying not to hold any of your weight. We're going to bring the arms out into a T position. Once they're there, we're going to inhale the knees towards the chest.
Exhale, dropping both set of knees to the right. Coming into a twist. Maybe taking the head and looking to the left. 5 deep breaths here. After your 5th breath, slowly on an inhalation, bring the knees through center. And when you're ready on an exhalation, dropping the knees to the left side. Take your time. Maybe taking the head and looking to the right. Try to invite some softness into the heads of your shoulders. Take one more deep breath here. And slowly move through center. We're going to bring our palms to our knees and just start to make circles. Small circles, giving the lower back a nice massage into the floor. Start to go the opposite direction. Maybe give yourself a nice hug. Bring the knees towards the nose. And slowly start to release that bind. Arms come down to the sides of the body as the legs extend. Tuck your shoulder blades on the back. Now this time, instead of taking everything on the outside of the body and pulling it into the midline, we're letting everything from the midline drop to the outer edges of the body. Closing the eyes. Resisting the urge to grip or hold tight. After 5 minutes in your Shavasana pose, you'll start to deepen your breath, slowly move the feet and the fingers, inviting awareness back into the body. Slowly begin to roll to one side. And then using your hand to press up, meeting back into your easy seated pose. We'll bring the hands to meet at heart center. Take a brief moment to feel the vibration of your practice. Thank each of you for practicing with me today. Namaste.